So it's interesting you did a player trajectory take because I actually have one up my sleeve as well. This one is definitely going to be remembered. I don't think we're going to have an issue with this player. But Nikola Jokic is on a pathway, and obviously you're doing some incredible things, winning some MVPs, but kind of loitering on a average to above average squad that I think we could safely say will probably bottom out in the semifinals every year, give or take. And I think the team's going to change over the next couple of years. I think Jokic feels loyal. He'll be on there for 10, 15 years, might even see the career out based on the fact that he likes a simple life. He just wants to play ball, and they took a flyer on him at 46, I believe. But I think that Jokic has the makings for a parallel career pathway with Dirk Nowitzki. So not necessarily the individual talent. I think by the end of his career, he will probably eclipse Dirk in terms of what he did as an individual. But what I'm referencing is I think Jokic will only get one NBA championship. And I think it'll be a surprise year that he gets it. And I think it will need a bit of a rejig of the roster to get there.
I guess we already had a take a few weeks ago about the Nuggets, and we were both very low on the Nuggets and how they're currently constructed. Uh, I'm, as you were sort of talking about Jokic, and then you compared him to Dirk Nowitzki. Um, I guess I almost feel it's optimistic that Jokic is going to win a ring at the Nuggets. Uh, if you were asking me to bet right now, as a in this sort of betting sense here, I'm going to say Jokic is never going to win a ring. Okay.
I feel like you're stealing my hot take, even though it's not hot.
I'm going to say he's going to be then more remembered like Charles Barkley, Patrick Ewing, Karl Malone. Yeah, those sort of names are going to probably pop up. It would be great to see him remembered like Nowitzki. Don't get me wrong. Okay, and maybe in all honesty, he's probably surpassed Dirk as a player, with the multiple MVPs and the statistic output that he puts out, the type of game that he plays. Dirk was never that sort of triple threat sort of player. And it wasn't the style back then either in that era. So it's not like Dirk's fault or anything like that, but it's that sort of reality. But I'm going to say here that look, I think that he's probably going to fall in some of these other less favorable names, unfortunately, rather than Dirk.
I think, look, the reason why I brought this as a parallel path is if we talked about Dirk by about like after that finals run where they obviously get beaten by Miami, we probably safely assume that was the window, that was the chance. It's not going to happen, right? And the Mavericks were quite consistently having good regular seasons, getting into the playoffs, and then just struggling against the same teams or the same types of teams. And then obviously 2011 rolls around. It's a slightly different team. The expectations are low, and they go on quite a Cinderella run. And from that moment onwards, they never went back. And that's kind of the trajectory that I feel for Denver is that they're going to keep chugging along 45, 50 wins, 55 wins, maybe one year. We're not going to expect much out of them. They'll be underdogs because that's just their prior history. And then one year it'll all click into place. And I guess to throw it back to your other take, you know, teaming up with Brad Beal when he's 35, 36, right? When it's like that's the last window to win. That's the kind of parallel I'm talking about here. I feel like a lot of pieces would need to be locked in on the right mindset of, hey, this is really our last legitimate window and this is the chance to get it. So it is an optimistic take because Dirk's career is finished and he has the ring and Jokic's isn't. But I think that from the early stages, we can see a similarity, or at least I can make a case for a similarity.